The Baltimore Orioles have hired the new manager, Brandon Hyde. And you got to give Elias credit for not hiring a retread. Let's see what this guy could do with a club. And he's had, played 4 years with professional ball. And then over the course of the last 15 years or so, he was hitting coach, bench coach, in management, in the office there. So he has had some experience. This is going to be a club that's going to be full of prospects, and fans in general, at least some of the older school fans. And this is kind of the new trend of baseball. But a lot of old school fans, I'm sure they would want to see a 70-year-old Dempsey to manage a complete rebuild. And I get the nostalgia of bribing him. But what happens to the love if he can't get the job done? Let's be realistic. The old timers are phasing out. They're being phased out of the game. And it's time for new blood. That's what's happening. It's new blood. New way of the way this game is being played. Clearly, this team isn't going to be sold anytime soon. So the fans are going to have to accept that. And accept that the greats of yesteryear aren't coming back to rescue this franchise. Maybe I'm being too optimistic. Maybe they'll win 35 games at the most. One has to take small steps. A 500 season would be a monumental step. And I'll tell you this. I'll say if, and this is a big if, Chris Davis can recover some of the talent which earned him his contract in the first place, and if this Rule 5 shortstop can live up to the expectations, you could win quite a number of games. And what you hope this coach could do is teach them fundamentals. Do not let Davis lead off. Teach them how to hit. Teach them how to steal bases. Teach them how to catch. Teach them where to throw the ball when to hit them. Teach them how to run bases. Bring up the whole AAA team and swap out the starters until they learn how to play the game. And that's all that you could expect. Look at this too. And if you think about, really this team is going to be in a complete rebuild, right? And I think the Orioles, they had an opportunity to retain players and extend the window a few years back. And the Angelos and Duquette were unprepared. You hemorrhaged out youth like Gossman and Scope. Even if Scope was playing horribly, you got nothing back. If you were going to rebuild, you should have done this last offseason, you might argue. Set us back a minimum and extra. Did this, it probably set you back a minimum at extra another 1 to 2 years by not getting better prospects while you could. You have to develop your reach to countries far away like Asia, South America, and actually draft and develop players. Easier said than done. In the former Birdland, well, maybe it will be a change now. Hope all is well.